Okay. There are several subjects that exist in the science realm that people typically from other planes of reality and existence tend to acknowledge with concern, amusement, and prominently confusion. One subject being that which entails being romantically attracted to inanimate objects or just an object in general. Some refuse to believe there is an explanation to such a perplexing conundrum and simply disregard it as a meaningless outcome of a degenerative society spiraling into a delusional state of lunacy thanks to the ever-degenerative science realm made ever more accessible by the interwebs. However, as a man of science, whose purpose is to figure out the explanation for all the mysteries of the universe for the love of science and to put reason where there is none and logic where it is missing, I will not accept such a dreary-minded response to such a serious question that requires the utmost of precision and discreetness to understand. So, why do certain people have attraction towards objects that could range from things like chairs to fridges to airplanes to attack helicopters? Well, let's find out. For science. So, firstly, to begin to understand this bizarre attraction, we must first look at the concept of attraction. It's something quite enthralling that I've talked about numerous times and is usually very much psychological. This attraction toward objects is actually not unheard of in the human world and is typically referred to as objectophilia. This, admittedly, was what I initially believed these people to be guilty of at the start of my research into the lusting and louvre displayed towards objects within the science realm. This was rather foolish of me, as anyone who is aware of the science realm, or the anime world, as the normies call it, isn't exactly a plane of existence that needs to make sense. And this was made apparent when, curiously in my research into these seemingly ordinary objects, I had a sudden breakthrough in my data collection. These objects appeared different and abnormal to the typical objects scattered through the human world, and displayed characteristics and behaviors that don't manifest in objects lest it be through poltergeists or ghost girls. It unsettled, but more than anything, enticed me. These objects, for one, seemed to have some level of sentience, which is the very essence of life. They were treated as if they had emotions and were capable even of making decisions. Upon further analysis, they had sudden hints of self-awareness, leading me to assume that somehow they seemed to be sentient creatures of some kind. I felt like I was going mad, trying to figure out what these objects were. I tried to uncover these specimens to further analyze, but with very few actually being found. From what I could study from Tales' archived experiences with these creatures and deduction, I believe these creatures, as I at the time believed them to actually be objects after all. And that's when it clicked in my head. It correlated to something previously researched in one of my studies that implied similar circumstances in which people lusted and louve'd objects and looked at them differently to just ordinary objects. I'm talking about the theory of ossification, in which an object or entity gained accentuated breathability and game through a non-visible, odorless, and tasteless matter known as ossi. However, it doesn't seem to stop there, as these are looked on with a sense of cuteness. Rarely, but it can happen. These I believe to be an example of another anomaly I call Kawaiiification. Quite similar to the concept of ossification, it's a word adhering to a concept that is primarily in the science realm in which a matter attaches to an object or entity and kawaiifies it, and makes it more cute in the eyes of those that perceive it. Keep that in mind, as many would agree that it seems these objects people are infatuated by are in some way ossified objects that are at times partly kawaiified as well, leading to a hybrid matter symbiote variable. To put it in another way, I believe these objects are the outcome of the matter of ussi and kawaii acting on them, and subjecting them to ossification and kawaiification. And they are technically just objects through and through. However, due to the interaction with this matter that is still unbeknownst to most scientists in the science realm, they are viewed in a different, more degenerate light. If you guys enjoyed this video, theoretically if you have watched this far then you do enjoy my videos, feel free to leave a like, subscribe, share this with your neighbor, high school teacher, and your wife, and I'll be back to answer another question that non-scientists can answer.